So, welcome to stoichiometry 2. Okay, so this is a little bit more complex example. So hopefully this can help you out. So let's go ahead and read our problem. So how many moles of nitrogen gas are needed to produce 160 grams of trisilicon nitride? So let's see. We have how many moles of nitrogen gas are needed to produce 160 grams of trisilicon tetranitride. So let's go ahead and provide our given and our goals, okay? So information that you have, okay? You know that you have 160 grams of trisilicon tetranitride. You want to produce that. So 160 grams of Si3 and 4. Okay, information that you want to know. So 160, that's the numbers that you have. Where's your goal? Well, where do you want to get to? In this case, you want to get to moles of nitrogen. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so you get started at grams and then you go to moles. So the first step, okay, remember that your equation is in moles, okay, and that even though you're starting in grams, okay, at some point you need to exchange from trisilicon tetranitride to nitrogen gas. And the only way to go ahead from one compound to the next is by using your reaction, your equation. So your first step will always be to go from grams to moles, to whatever you're given, to moles. Okay, so let's set up the path here. Okay, so first step, you're given. You're going to have grams. Okay, let's write it down here so that we have more space. So from grams of silicon, Si3 and 4. Okay, we need to go to moles of the given, always to moles of what you have. You need this information, but not in grams. You need it in moles. So you're going to go to moles of the same thing. Okay? Now that you're in moles, you can definitely use your reaction to go from this compound to the one that is in your goal. Okay? So moles of nitrogen. Okay? Is that the goal here? Yes, you're here. Okay? So remember, the first step is to always convert from grams of what you're given to moles of what you're given. Okay? How do we go from grams to moles of anything? Okay? Well, you need to find out the molar mass. So in this case, we need to know that 1 mole of trisilicon tetranitride, okay, is going to weigh how much? Okay, so molar mass for Si3 and 4. How do we know that? Si, you go to your periodic table, okay, and you check out, and it is about 25, okay? So you have 25. Let me double check if it's actually 25. 28, it's actually 28 times 3, okay? Then you have nitrogen, which is 14, okay? And then you have 4 of those, okay? So this is going to give you 56, all right? And, 84 and 56, okay? The total is going to be 140 grams. All right, so the total mass here is 140 grams. Then to go from moles of one thing to moles of another thing, okay, you will go ahead and use your reaction. And your reaction tells you that for 1 mole of trisilicon tetranitride, okay, for 1 mole of this, you will need a total of 2 moles of nitrogen. Okay, So you have your equivalencies ready. Okay, this is going to connect between moles and grams of the same things, trisilicon tetranitride. And then this is going to connect because between the moles of trisilicon tetranitride and 2 moles of nitrogen gas. Okay, so then what do we do? All right, once you have your equalities, okay, then you just set it up. So in order for this to be a simple process, you must include your equalities. You must know that from grams to moles of any compound, you need your molar mass. And your molar mass is just the addition, okay, of the weights on the periodic table, the masses that you have there. Okay, and that to go from one compound to another compound, you will use your reaction and you take the coefficients right as they are, okay, and set them up as an equality. So to finally get the result, you have 160 grams of Si3N4, okay, times. So our first step is to go from grams of one to moles of the same thing, okay? So which one do we put on the bottom? The one that will cancel out what you have. So in this case, 140 grams of Si3N4, okay? And on the top, the other part of your equality. Okay? Now you will cancel grams and you are in moles, which is the second part. Then you need to transfer that to moles of your goal. And you will use the equation, okay, the equality that you just got from your reaction. So 1 on the bottom, because this is the one that has the value that you need to cancel. And 2 on the top. Okay, so you cancel this out. And you're left in moles of nitrogen. So what do we do here? Okay, multiply all your numerators, 160 times 2, and all your denominators, in this case 140 times 1, okay, which is going to be 160 times 2, 320, divided by 140, okay, which is going to be 2.28, and then your units, moles, okay, let's write it down here, which is going to be 228 moles of nitrogen, okay, 2.28, so here's a dot in here, okay, so remember to always circle your final result, okay, double check that it has the units that you are asked, okay, and if you do, then you're set.